What is going on, traders? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader. Happy Thursday to you. So the market cap, the crypto market cap has recovered a little bit. It was down to about 307, I think, the last time I checked it last night. It is now up to 318 billion. So a recovery of about 10 billion on the market cap. And you see some of these Bitcoin and obviously some of the top alts recovering in USD value as well. There's a few that took huge hits. Bitcoin SV, Litecoin took a huge hit yesterday, and now it has recovered slightly. It actually went under $100. I'll talk about Litecoin in a second. XRP is down almost 9%. Bitcoin Cash, I mean, you see the numbers here in red. There are very few coins that actually have seen any sort of rally in the last 24 hours, at least top coins, that is. So let us take a look at these coins individually. I'll start with Bitcoin, obviously, because that is the one that most people are interested in. So if we take a look at Bitcoin on the daily, and here's the interesting thing about Bitcoin is we are still maintaining bullish patterns all around. So here's Bitcoin on the 1 day. If you take a look at the formation that it developed in the last couple weeks or so, we have this classic bull flag. It broke out of the bull flag, obviously hit almost 13,300, and we have retraced since then, and have actually hit a low yesterday of around 11,100. Now, it's clear that it bounced off of the 21 EMA, the 21 daily EMA, which is this white line, which also happens to be above the support line of this bull flag, which used to be resistance and is now support. So you can't say that this pattern is invalidated. It is still confirmed. It is still a bull flag. It is still a positive break, and that is now retesting support, something that coins and stocks, any really chartable assets, something that is a very usual behavior for them. Once they break out of bullish patterns, they go back to retest support, and the market tries to validate whether they believe in that bullish rally or not. And so far, Bitcoin is still bullish, regardless of what the perception is, the most recent perception is on Bitcoin, right? Obviously, there's a recency bias with trading, more so than I've seen than most endeavors in life. It seems to be that what is happening currently is what sticks in traders' minds, and it's very hard to develop an overall perspective or a long-term perspective. That's why buying the dips is something that you have to practice over time, and it's not something that comes intuitively, because buying the dips goes against every short-term trend or every short-term instinct that you might have. Impulsively, you don't want to buy the dips because something is declining. However, over the long term, that obviously proves to be the best strategy in terms of making money in most markets. So that is Bitcoin on the 1 day, still bullish. Just bouncing off the 21 EMA. I mean, it's not even like we bounced off of the 50 moving average, which is at around 9,700 currently. We're bouncing off of the 21 EMA. Not bad. Looking at Bitcoin on the 4 hour, you'll see that if I just remove these drawing tools here, you'll see that Bitcoin obviously formed the inverse head and shoulders. I'll draw it just really quick, but here's the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. And if you look at where the neckline is, we are still above that. So Bitcoin is still maintaining this bullish pattern here, right? If we fell below the neckline and closed below it, then it would invalidate this pattern. However, we have not, and you see the RSI curling upwards. Obviously, we still can, but I'm just saying so far, Bitcoin hasn't shown the desire to go below these bullish patterns or to invalidate these bullish patterns and drop below support. Bitcoin on the 1 week, here's what's dictating everything, I believe, right? And I've mentioned this in the last few videos, but this is what is dictating the whole price action on Bitcoin at the moment. You have this rounding bottom here, which is obviously a bullish pattern and a possible trend reversal pattern coming from a downtrend. You want to see rounding patterns the most during downtrends, because this is what signifies, especially over the long term, right? Like this rounding pattern has been going on for over a year now, starting in January 2018. So the longer that this pattern is, generally, the more solid or the more valid it is. But you want to see these coming from downtrends because they tend to signify trend reversals to the upside. But this is clearly what is dictating Bitcoin right now. This is why Bitcoin is struggling to get, back to that 13.8 level and stay there. It's not sticking there. You see, obviously, these wicks here couple weeks ago and this week going above this resistance line that we see here of around 11.8, 11.9. But, this is clearly a stubborn level, and it is dictated by what has happened in the past, right? When we hit the crypto market crash and we dropped from all-time highs, we tried to reverse and cross above this resistance in order to maintain the bullish rally, but we couldn't. And that eventually is what led to the continuation of the crash down to, swing lows of 3,200 that we saw back in December and even January of this year. So this right here is dictating everything. So anytime that you see the price rally and come back down, it's because of this stubborn resistance that the market cannot accept yet. And the minute that we cross over and close above 11.8 on the weekly, right? And the weekly candles go from Monday to Monday UTC. So depending on which time zone you're in, it might be Sunday where you live, but it's Monday to Monday midnight UTC. So the minute that we close above that on the weekly, then, the market will believe in this rally, and we will most likely see the most plausible move, right? We're not fortune tellers, but instead we are technical analysts, and we want to know what is the most probable move and adjust our trades accordingly. So the minute that we close above 11.8 on the weekly, the most plausible move then is a continuation of the bull rally, hopefully back to retest all-time highs eventually, right? But you see how long this rounding pattern has taken. So this bull rally is nothing like the bull rally we saw at the end of 2017. As a matter of fact, this is what you want to happen, right? When we see these parabolic rallies, even people that believe in crypto or traders that are bullish or optimistic about the price of Bitcoin, you don't really believe what's going on here. You start questioning whether Bitcoin has any business being at this level. It happened so fast. We went from 10K to 20K in a period of 14 days, right? Exactly 2 weeks. So this rally is definitely nothing like the last rally. And you want these long-term bullish patterns to sustain over time, because the longer that they sustain, the more the market will believe the price discovery that Bitcoin is trying to achieve. So overall, I'm still bullish. I would not be surprised if we spent, another couple of weeks at this level and turn this into, some sort of cup and handle pattern before breaking out. I do believe that we will eventually break out. The momentum is saying that much. We will eventually break out and start to retest 13.8 and then, the 16 level that we see here, 16,100, and then eventually the all-time highs. And then that will be the moment of truth. Obviously, there will be a major struggle at 20K, most likely, before trying to cross above. But if we stay at 20K, and now we're thinking very long term, but if we stay at 20K for longer than a week, which, is something that we couldn't sustain the last time we hit 20K, then, the market will start believing in that resistance level and potentially turn that resistance into support. Anyway, that is long term. I don't want to play the fortune telling game. Let's close above 11,800 first on the weekly. That is the level that you want to monitor at home. So looking at Litecoin, let's take a look at Litecoin. I want to take a look at some of these top alts and talk about the buyback levels. I sent out alerts for these top alts, and if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. And I sent out an alert for Litecoin yesterday, buying at two levels. We first bought at the 0.382 fib level here, as well as an alert for the 0.5 fib level, right? So the 0.382 fib level was around $98. Litecoin did hit that and seemed to find support there. It dropped down to $95 for a second before now finding support at back over $100, so 105. So we've recovered a bit, made a little bit of profit, over just a couple of hours, really, just by buying the dip. I do have a buy scheduled at 84, which is where the 0.5 fib level is, just in case we drop further. But we do have also uh, bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence between the price, the RSI, and the MACD, where the RSI and the MACD are making lower highs and the price is making a higher high. I know that this looks a little bit messy. And this right here just denotes, I was just measuring the drops that Litecoin has had since its rally from $20 back in December 2018, where we initially got in. Again, if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. So we see that, back in April, from April to May, Litecoin sustained a 34% drop before continuing the rally. And then back here from May to June, we sustained a 20% drop. And now this drop measured around 35%, similar to the correction that we saw back here in April. Looking at EOS, I sent out a trade alert for EOS as well at the 0.618 fib level, which was around the 200 MA. So we had a little bit of confluence there. And, it did hit the 0.618 fib level and now is finding support a little bit above that. So the 0.618 was at $4.30, which is, funny enough, exactly where it hit. If you look at the low here and just hover over this candle, you see that it hit 4.38, and 4.38 is where the 0.618 fib level hit. So, this isn't magic. I mean, these indicators are there for a reason. It's because they are reliable and have, proven the test of time. Obviously, it doesn't mean that those indicators have to hold or, they don't have to project exactly where the coin or the stock is going to go, but they are reliable markers for a reason. When you see a confluence, such as, if there's a moving average that's around a key fib level, that's around a key support level, then you have a confluence telling you that the market is likely to find support there. And currently we are finding support there. And we definitely bought the dips at 0.618. And you see now the RSI starting to crawl into oversold territory, right? And this is a kind of divergence, right? So the last time that EOS was oversold back in December, the price was around $1.60. And, this time we're oversold and the price is around $4.30. So, the higher price with the RSI being oversold is definitely a kind of divergence, and one that you want to see, because that is what would support a further price rally up. You need to see these momentum indicators reset to a certain extent before another rally up. That's why they oscillate, right? That's why they go up and down, or else they would be never-ending linear lines. Looking at XRP, this is the perplexing one here, man. XRP, while we did have some successful swings on XRP within certain ranges, so within this channel that you see here, for instance, before the drop that we saw yesterday, there was a channel that was rather predictable within a certain time frame. And XRP has had a tendency to do this, where you can, play the swings within this channel. However, if you look overall, XRP really is one of the only top coins that hasn't seen any sort of signs of a reversal. So this is the all-time high here in January, where we hit that, famed $3 mark. But essentially, it is just a period of lower highs. And if you look at something like Bitcoin, what happened with Bitcoin, the reason that we turned bullish on Bitcoin eventually is because, you do see these periods of lower highs, but there was a point in which Bitcoin reversed above a lower high, right? So if you look at, where is my arrow here? God damn it. Oh, I'm blind. Here it is. So if you look at Bitcoin, this lower high here, once we crossed above it, this was at around 6,500. Once we closed above it, then we started believing in a potential reversal. And then we started closing above multiple of the previous highs, right? You have this one set here at around 8,300. You had this one set here at around 10,000. So once we started crossing above these and closing above them comfortably, then you could reliably say that Bitcoin is in a reversal pattern. But this is something that XRP hasn't done. We really have not closed above a previous high. We flirted with it a little bit, but haven't really closed above a previous high. And we were stuck here kind of in this range between, 36 cents and 50 cents really for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months here, and we just saw an epic drop again. Now there is a clear support level on XRP where I'm willing to buy back, which is around the 29-cent level, and that's because of this long-term support that we see going all the way back to December. So if XRP hits this level, then I am definitely a buyer of XRP, but only for a swing. I don't know that I would buy and hold it really, because it hasn't proven to us that XRP wants to reverse and hit a reversal trend and potentially continue a rally back to, at least some of these previous highs, but it hasn't even really managed to close above a previous high. So, until XRP sees a real reversal or shows us that it wants to potentially jump on a reversal trend, I will just continue to swing trade XRP, buying and selling in the short term. And again, I'm a buyer at around 29 cents. And one more time, if you want access to the trade alerts, link is in the description. You also get access to the stock trade alerts if you hit the Diamond Trader, if you get the Diamond Trader and above. A couple of stock trades that we've successfully managed over the last few weeks. We're up 35% on Symantec. It is seeing a bit of a retracement today, but I have a minus 5% stop limit on Symantec in order to protect our profits. Disney obviously hitting all-time highs, and from when we got in at around $113, it is now up 27%. Microsoft also hitting all-time highs. Got in a little bit late on Microsoft. I wish I had taken advantage of this drop, but you can't always catch a falling knife, right? This level right here wasn't really discernible, falling below the 50-day. However, we're still managing a 5% increase on Microsoft, also hitting all-time highs. That is it for this video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you got anything out of this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I don't know what you're doing if you haven't. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.